Hello, welcome to video 2. At the end of the last video, I asked you to stop the video and to try number 7 and 8. So I'm going to ask you one more time. If you haven't done that, hit pause, and I'm going to come right back and I'm going to have all the work for number 7 pop up on the screen, and then I'll come back and show you number 8 after that. Okay, so hit pause, and here come the answers to number 7. And there it is. How'd you do? You should have gotten about 4.26 liters there. And again, the trick that I'm trying to get you to realize is it's about matching up those units in order to get the unit that you want. Now remember that when right here in this box, those two units have to be equal. Okay, so what I did is I went down here and I found that 1 pint was equal to 0.473, and so I used that. Those have to be equal because when they are, it's really just a fancy version of the number 1. Right there, when you do that, when you multiply by anything over itself, you're multiplying by 1. All right, one more time. Try number 8. Hit pause. See if you can get it using the unit analysis like I'm modeling here in the video. Pause now. Okay, if you're back, I almost have it done here. You should have set it up here so that these two units can cancel out. You should have 3 times 3.279 because you want feet. And if you multiply that out, that should come out to be 9.89 feet. There. So bring your questions back to class. Now, you will notice the bottom of the page is number 9. That question gets quite a bit more complicated, and so I'm going to skip that one. So you can cross off number 9. We're not going to be doing that, but we are going to go back. So let's go back to the beginning here to number 1. And using what we just talked about, let's see if we can work through these last 2 questions, or the first 2 questions. All right, now this particular problem, let's read it. It says, in Brazil, there's 20 acres of rainforest that are destroyed every minute. It says, at this rate, how much rainforest is destroyed per day? Okay, so essentially what we're doing here is we're making a conversion from minutes to days. Okay, minutes to days. So here's some information that you need to know to solve this. Okay, jot this down first of all. You need to know this. It's stuff that you should know, that 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. Okay, and that 1 day is equal to 24 hours. Now I want to show you how dimensional analysis, or this unit analysis, it gets quite a bit more complicated. And if you learn to let the labels do the work for you, like I'm trying to get you to do, life actually gets easier, and they can get even more complicated than this one. This one is not a real complicated one, but it probably will look a little bit harder than the ones we've just been working on. So remember, the first thing you do, you write down what you have. You have 20 acres and you put it over 1. Now what you should do here is go way over to the right part of your paper and write equals. Okay, and I didn't quite get that right. 20 acres over 1 minute. You need to include that here. See how now I have 2 labels here? An acre is a unit of area for land. Okay, and it's 20 acres per 1 minute. I want to go from acres per minute, that means per, which was in the question right here, per day. Okay, we're going from per minute, each minute, to per day. So we want to go from acres per minute to acres per day. And that's what we want to figure out. Well, how many is that? Well, so here's what I can do. All right, what I want to do is I want to get rid of the minutes. I want to get rid of the minutes and turn them into days here. But I don't have how many minutes are in a day. And let's say I don't know that. Well, what I do know is I have to match the label, though, right there. You have to match these 2 labels because they cancel out. But since I don't have minutes today, I do know this. I do know that 60 minutes is 1 hour. So I do have minutes to hours. Now watch what happens. I just changed the minutes into hours. Now I have hours. But the deal is I don't want hours, I want days. So I have to do it again. And if I look here, I know, put another multiply right there. You have to match this label of hours here. Now, do I know how many hours are in a day? Yes, I do. I know that there are 24 hours in one day. So this label and this label cancel out again. So now you have day right there. So all you need to do is the math across the page right here. Multiply the top numbers to get the new top number. I did that for you. Comes out to be, it's a large number, 28,800. And then you multiply the bottom numbers there to get the number of days. So you have basically, at this rate, how much rainforest is destroyed? You have 28,800 acres are destroyed per day. And that's the answer to that question. So you can see, and that's really a pretty easy one compared to how it gets harder and harder. But the labels, okay, can be used and should be used to try to help you solve the problem. Let's look at number 2. This Lexi is painting 5 yards of fence in an hour. So here's what, I'll give you some clues here. You need to know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. And that 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. Now this one is even more complicated, so I'm going to go ahead and go through it, and then if you think you can do this, maybe I'll give you a bonus point for extra credit or a piece of candy in class if you think you can solve one like this. Follow the pattern of what I'm describing here, and I just want you to see this to see why the labels can be so helpful for us. Okay, we have 5 yards of fencing that can be painted in 1 hour. 5 yards per 1 hour. Okay, over here, right, equals. Now, here's what they want. They want to know how many inches per minute. So we're going from yards per hour to inches per minute. If she goes 5 yards in an hour, how many inches is she going per minute? So to make the conversion here, well, the first thing I want to do is, I think what I'll do is change, you have to change the yards into minutes, or into inches. Okay, so to get rid of yards, where do I have to write yards? On the top or the bottom? Hopefully you said on the bottom, because that's how it cancels out. So you look to see if you know how many yards or how many inches are in a yard, and I gave that to you right here. I know that 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. Okay, so look what just happened. The yards cancels out, and you now have inches as your numerator, which is what you want. But right now you have inches per hour. You don't want hours, you want minutes. So I'm going to multiply again, and I want to get rid of hours. So to get rid of hours, hours here is on the bottom, so you have to put hours here on the top. Now, do we have hours and minutes? We do right here. We know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, now this hour will cancel out with that. And we now have minutes on the bottom. So again, look what we have. We have inches in the numerator, minutes on the bottom, which is what we want here. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply straight across 5 times 36 times 1. That works out to be 180. And then we're going to multiply straight across the bottom. 1 times 60 is 60. So you divide 180 inches divided by 60 minutes. And I'm going to move this guy out of the way because I can do that. No, I can't. It's locked. So I will write the answer over here. 180 divided by 60 is 3. That would be inches per minute. And there you have it. Voila. So again, the labels did the work for me. If I put the labels down first and then I just look on my conversion table either this one or another one that I'll give you that would have this information that's not listed here to make your life easier there. So there you have it. That's dimensional analysis or unit analysis. So get that stuff done, and we'll see you in class.